Hi guys, it's Brookelynne and welcome to my channel. So today's video is going to be my 2-week postpartum postnatal update on me and Noah. Noah is currently sleeping like he was last week, so he's having his nap. That's why I'm trying to get this video filmed. But if you've watched any of the vlogs lately, I'm not sure which one's going to go up first, the Easter vlog or this one. You'll see him there, but yeah, don't want to disturb him while he's having a good sleep, and it means I can get videos on. So yes, on him, he is starting to take 3 ounces of formula when he gets his formula feeds, which is really good. He is a greedy gorb, so he is like guzzling down his milk. Sometimes he takes less than that, but we've kind of went up to the 3 ounces because I noticed during this week the 2.5 ounces sometimes wasn't enough, so he was gunning for some more milk when he was up, so we've just upped it to 3 ounces. And then he still does take his wee baby feeds too. I have still been struggling with milk supply, to be fair. I know I should be doing more baby feeds or breastfeeds with him, but I think because the day just goes so quick, and we're so busy, it's hard to kind of find time to pump and everything, and I am going to try to make that more of a priority and do that more often instead of just a couple of times a day. But I do tend to put him on the boob most times when he gets a feed, so yeah, hopefully that'll help. But yeah, so he is doing really well, still getting combo fed, and he did put on some more weight when he got weighed at his weigh appointment today. Just the health visitor came out today, and I think he's above his birth weight. I'm not entirely sure by how much, but I think he's put on like from day 7 100 grams. So because he's a greedy gorb, he's putting on the weight and he's growing, which is good for him because obviously you want him to grow and thrive. So yeah, he's actually changed since he was born, which is crazy. Like, I can't believe he's 2 weeks old today. Literally 2 weeks old. Like, where has that time gone? Like, where's it gone? It's just crazy how 1 minute you've just given birth, then next minute it's like a week's went by, 2 weeks now has went by. And people do say when you have kids, time flies by even quicker, and it does. So yeah, it's just like my son's 2 weeks old today as I'm filming this. It could be a week or so when this comes out, because I do have a birth story or the labour delivery story to go up, which will probably go up before this. So if you want to check that out, it'll be on my channel. So yeah, he's doing well. He's still a good sleeper. Touch wood, that stays. And he's settling in really well. The only time he does really like cry or get fussy or gurn is when he has excess wind. So even though we always burp him after every feed and sometimes during, that's what doesn't start. But now we're just trying to make a habit of doing it between like halfway through his feed so it doesn't get windy, because obviously the excess wind really annoys him. Then he's a fuss pot, which is not good. It's not good for him, not good for us. So we'll just make sure he burps, and he usually does do a good burp, which is good. So nappies is still doing the wet and dry nappies, which some days he does more poos than others, but I know, son, if you're watching this in the future, just click off. I'm probably embarrassing you. But yeah, he's doing what he needs to do for his nappies, which is good. The only thing I have noticed this past day is he has got a bit of a nappy rash, so we're using that. Like, yeah, it's hard to really say what it is. It's like the yellow nappy rash. The yellow nappy rash ointment, it begins with an M. We're using that on him, so just to clear that up, but it isn't too bad. We'll call it early. I think it is quite common for babies to get that, but we were using like soda cream or total cream, whatever it's pronounced, on him. But that yellow nappy rash ointment's better for like healing the nappy rash, and then soda cream's more for like creating a good wee barrier so he doesn't get it. So yeah, we're doing that, and he does use the water wipes for cleaning this bum, but I'm going to try to use the cotton wool and water, but sometimes just want to get it over and done with. But that's just mum life. And we have started just taking one wee short trips out, and short trips like walks, we're trying to break them into that. The reason why we didn't do it for the first week, or we didn't do it that, like, yeah, we didn't do it for the first week, is because it was quite cold and I think a lot of sickness was going about, so didn't want to be too exposed to that. But now, because it's not as cold and he's kind of got to that age where, like, he's not newborn, but he still is, but we're just breaking him into taking him out and getting him used to places and things and new surroundings, because I don't want him to be strange or be scared of going out, but also I don't want him to get sick. So it's finding that balance, and as long as he's wrapped up warm and we have everything we need for like nappy changes, we've got his formula, like either the wee pre-ready drink bottles, or what I actually have got, what we actually did get today is that Go Prep. So it's Thai Tippy Go Prep cooling flask. It's like similar to the prep machine, but you just kind of bring it out with you. So I bought like a hot flask, because obviously you can buy the hot and cool flask in a set, but it's a lot more expensive than just buying the cool flask, whereas you can buy like a normal thermal flask for like £5. So I got one of them. So I didn't explain what I'm gonna do with the flask and cooling flask, pretty much a hot flask and cooling flask. Basically, I learned this hot shot technique. If you haven't heard of the hot shot technique, it's like the Tommy Tippy perfect prep machine. I learned it from Leonie. So basically, if you're doing a 4ml, or not 4ml, a 4-ounce feed, you take 1ml and you put it in like the lid of your bottle, if you have like the man bottle, the wee cap of it, and then you take the 3 ounces and pour it into the flask, the cooling one, and then you just cool that water in the cooling flask down, and then with the water you've measured, the hot water in the lid of like the man bottle or whatever bottle you're using, just make sure it's in a good surface and not spilling everywhere. You basically pour that into your bottle, add your 4 scoops of formula, shake it so it kills any bacteria and germs, and then add the cooled water into it once it's cooled. I think it takes around 2 to 4 minutes for a bottle to cool in a cooling flask, but once that water has cooled and you mix it all together with the hot water, test it, but it should be the perfect temperature for your baby. And doing this, you can make several bottles. So say for instance you got some more water left in the hot flask for later, if he's hungry again, you could do that, which is what I'll be doing when I'm out. I do still use the wee ready drink bottles, but I have been bringing out either pre-made bottles are made up in the house, or bringing out them flasks. Depends on how long we're out for, but you can bring pre-made bottles out too. So that'll be handy for when out and about, so I can make a couple of bottles if we're ever out for like long stretches. So for me, I feel like I'm more back to normal, even though I did feel pretty much back to normal last week. I'm more and more feeling like back to myself. I think my stitches are healing really, really well. If you haven't watched like the birth story or my 1 week postpartum update, you wouldn't know I did get like a 2nd degree tear, which wasn't too bad. So I think them stitches are healing up. The bleeding's got lighter. It's still there, because obviously it can last up to 6 weeks, but it is much lighter. I'm not needing to use maternity pads anymore, just use normal pad, which is good, and it's more kind of comfortable. Well, the maternity pads weren't bad, they weren't too bad to sit on and stuff. You just felt like you had a nappy on, but it wasn't too bad. But the normal pads are just like standard. I'm used to them when I do get periods. So yeah, that's kind of lightening up, and my stomach has pretty much near went back into the way it was normally now. I've always had a bit of a sticky out stomach, not like too bad. It still needs, there's still a bit at the bottom that sticks out, but that will kind of go. And as I get more active and take my son out for a walk, like Noah out for the walks, that'll kind of go, and obviously breastfeeding is going to help bring that in. And once I do get my 6-week checkup by the doctor and get the all clear, I'm going to start going back to the gym just to really tone it up. And yeah, I'm actually happy that my stomach and everything, like my body's pretty much near enough back to normal. I thought it would take longer. So yeah, it's just, I'm still wearing the belly wraps. Like I got 2 from Shein, so I kind of alternate which one I wear for the day, because one is tighter because it's smaller, one is looser. So what I am doing is one day I'll wear a tighter one day I'll wear a looser one, and then I wear it for 6 hours. But then the looser one I can sort of tighten to be as tight as the tighter one, if that makes sense. So it's kind of good to use both, because yeah, I'm glad both of them work for me. The hormones, which I did say, like, I was really hormonal last week, gurning and then proper hysterics laughing, gurning, hysterics laughing. That's kind of settled down now. I'm more mellow, but I feel more myself, and I do feel like obviously a bit more upbeat than what I was when I was pregnant. But yeah, I just feel like not as hormonal, which is great. Because them hormones were like nuts. So yeah, anything else to really update on myself? Not really, like just that everything's going back to normal. And the midwife did say, asked her to measure where, obviously they can tell where the womb goes, because it takes about 6 weeks for that to go completely back to normal, and stomach and all to go completely in. But she did measure where the womb was, and it's behind the pubic bone now, so it's near enough back to its pre-pregnancy size. So yeah, and what I'm gonna do is I'm not going to do a 3-week update. I'm going to do a month, because I don't think there's really much to update after this, and I'll get more of a difference on me and Noah when we get to the 4-week or the 1-month mark, which will fly in. It's just, I can just feel it in my bones. It's going to fly in. I'll be sitting down at this, like, in this room talking to you, saying it's my 1-month update, which I'm going to cry. And then what I think I'll do is do my 6-week one. It could be, yeah, 1 month, 6 week, then 2 months, and then I think I'll just do 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, that kind of thing. And then I'll probably stop it at like a year, because yeah. But yeah, that's the end of the wee update. If I've forgot anything, I will kind of do like a wee voiceover thing, like a screen freeze and voiceover, and kind of update you there. But yeah, before I go, I'm going to show you my stomach. So here's what it looks like just with my clothes. From the side, other side. Pull this up, pull this down. From the front, side, and the other side. So yeah, it looks similar to what it did look like at the 1 week. So it's pretty much looks quite similar, I would say. But yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you again for the next one. Stay gorgeous. God bless. Bye.